Alrighty, welcome back, boys and girls. It's your main math man, Mr. Shank, coming to you live from Walker Middle School. And on this video, I'm just going to go through some of the scatterplot notes. And like its name, again, you can kind of predict what it's going to look like. It's going to have a bunch of points on a graph that are, or a plot, and you're going to plot points that are scattered about. So it's going to be kind of all over the place, but you can kind of see how it works. It's super simple, it's pretty straightforward. So it says a scatterplot illustrates the relationship between two sets of data. A scatterplot consists of points on a graph, and the ordered pairs represent the measures of two attributes of the point. So make sure you always have that x and y value when you have those ordered pairs. And so, for instance, a scatterplot can be used to predict trends and patterns. You can have correlation as well, if you would like to have that in there as well. So let's say correlation. All right. And you can use it to estimate the line of best fit. And I'll show you guys how to do that in another video and more specific to that topic. In a scatterplot, each point is represented by an independent and dependent variable. And just like we have it color-coded, the independent variable is graphed on the x-axis, and the dependent variable is graphed on the y-axis. And so some examples of this, so there's different types of relationships. And so what you're doing is you're comparing. For this example, you're looking at a positive relationship or correlation. And so the more minutes you spent meditating, the higher your concentration level goes. And so this is exactly like what we're talking about when we have slope. So as x increases, y increases. And so for a negative relationship or correlation, as your number of missing assignments pile up, your overall class grade will decrease. So that means as x increases, y decreases. So this is kind of like a negative slope. And then lastly, the types of relationships, again, this is the last one, will be no relationship or no correlation, meaning there's no obvious pattern. So the dots or the ordered pairs are kind of spread out. So a good example would be a birth month and a birth year. They're not really correlated at all. So then underneath that, just a couple examples for you to have. It says determine whether a scatterplot of the data for the following might show a positive, negative, or no trend, meaning correlation, and then explain your answer. So for the first one, it says a shoe size and math test score. Well, that's pretty straightforward. That's no relationship. The shoe size and math test score are not related. And then it says, for the second one, it says the height of a basketball player and the number of rebounds. So you're going to be always crashing those boards like your favorite NBA player, Dennis Rodman. And so yes, the positive relationship, taller players usually, not always, but usually have more rebounds. The ones that are more determined and hard work, they get the boards. All right, so a couple other examples. Your outside temperature and heating bill, well, that's going to be a negative relationship. As the outside temperature goes down, the heating bill goes up. Your eye color and test score, well, there's no relationship. If you have brown eyes, blue eyes, yellow eyes, whatever, it's not going to change your test score, unfortunately. And then lastly, the time spent studying for a test and a test score, oh, that definitely affects you. So positive relationship, the longer a student spends studying for a test, the higher the test score. Please make sure you're always studying with that. Moving on. So now it gives you, it says, use the data to make a scatter plot, then draw a line of best fit and answer the question. And it says, it should say 8th graders were asked how much time they spent studying / doing homework versus how much time they spent watching TV on one day. And so it gives you the values, and what you're going to do is you want to be able to plot those points. So at this time, you want to be able to plot those points on the graph. And so you're going to let your x value be your time spent studying, and your y value be the time spent watching TV. So plot those points, be able to show it to me, and we'll pick up where this left off.